Love is a serious mental disease, the famous Plato said. There's no better way to introduce this video than with this quote. If you're one of those people who think love is just a simple emotion, then you're a fool. So, what is love anyway? See, love is a very complex emotion. Actually, when you fall in love, a lot of neurological and psychological changes happen in your body. Because of this, the brain starts releasing hormones like oxytocin, dopamine, and vasopressin. We'll talk about these hormones in a bit. What effect do they have on our body and mind? Now about love. Before the effects, let's learn about love. Generally, there are several forms of love, like from Greek culture or mythology: eros, philia, and storge. The love your parents have for you, or you have for your parents, falls under storge. I believe Aristotle created this term. It means a love where both parties benefit mutually or get some advantage. The love you have for your friends or community falls under this. Agape, now I might not be pronouncing it correctly, but agape is an ideal form of love where you love the soul. And lastly, eros, which is a passionate form of love. Eros. In this form, a person loves another person's body. Of course, it doesn't just mean sexual. It means first you love the person, and with time you appreciate their body, or you appreciate their beauty. Now, love is a multifaceted emotion with many components. Closeness. You always want to be close to your partner. Passion. Your partner needs to be passionate about your love. And lastly, commitment. You should have faith in your relationship, which is a very important factor in terms of love. So what exactly happens in your body when you fall in love? Let's start with dopamine. When you fall in love, your dopamine levels increase. Dopamine is a hormone related to your happiness. The more dopamine, the more happiness. The second thing is oxytocin. Now, oxytocin is a very complicated hormone, although it's also called the love hormone. When this hormone increases in the body, a person easily trusts other people, or starts feeling empathy and compassion towards others. Feelings like bonding and attachment are related to oxytocin. That's why when someone says love is blind, actually love isn't blind. But your body is flooded with oxytocin, because of which you can easily trust someone. And this is the reason why you ignore your partner's negative traits, or you're only able to focus on the positive and good things. And another important thing happens in the brain during this phase. The mental area, which is related to reward and motivation, becomes very active. When you love someone, it means you are always motivated, and many things become achievable. It means you're ready to go to any extent for that person. And another part, the insula, this also becomes very active. Because of this, a person can process emotions better and feel empathy, and the levels of basic stress hormones also decrease. So you might think, what's wrong with this? All of these are positive things. Then where is the dark side? Now pay attention. Imagine you're in love with someone. Your body is flooded with dopamine. You're always happy. Oxytocin levels are also increasing. You always feel motivated, feel attached to that person. You feel like you've found your lost piece. A person you can talk to openly, with whom you share your joys and sorrows. And a time comes when you become habituated to that person. And in most cases, partners start becoming possessive. When you hold on to relationships too tightly, they don't become stronger. Rather, they start breaking due to the pressure. You can't think of anything else besides that person. And now imagine for some reason you get separated from that person. You will start connecting it with feelings of sadness. The attachment you felt due to oxytocin will now start causing you pain. And because of this, your body will trigger some emotions like sadness, anger, guilt, loneliness, anxiety. You'll feel as if everything is your fault. The love that was the biggest reason for your happiness will now be the biggest reason for your pain. You'll feel like you lost everything, even though you might not have lost anything. And the most important part, your identity or character. When a person is in a relationship, that relationship becomes a big part of their identity. So when a person gives themselves to their relationship, it almost becomes their identity. If their love is very involved in their social life, the consequences will be greater. Then they feel like they don't deserve anything, and there are chances that in this phase, you might pick up bad habits, like drinking or smoking. Like our Bollywood films have taught us that when your heart is broken, you resort to alcohol. Another effect of this could be that you start blaming your partner for everything. Actually, the impact of the psychological or mental effects will depend on how much you love that person. The more you love that person, the greater the impact will be. And when a person goes through something like this, the insular part of their brain is not as active anymore, because of which they usually can't feel emotions for someone else so easily. All these things will make you experience one thing very well: pain. And you know what the biggest solution to pain is? Love. That's the problem. A broken person doesn't heal until someone mends them with love. And by love, I'm not talking about eros now, I'm talking about philia or storge. You can talk to your family or friends. Give yourself some time. Understand yourself. Making mistakes is normal. You're human. You can rebuild your life from any point. It just depends on what you want. Maybe breaking wasn't in your control, but whether to shatter or not is definitely in your control. So, as always, what's my point of view on this? To understand love, you need to love. Although this video has been negative so far, I'm not saying that love is always bad. Love is like a double-edged sword. One side works for you and one against you. It has the ability to inflict a wound and also to heal one. And one thing is for sure in life: what doesn't involve love